our planet is not the globe model you're looking at in front of you. Down is the ground. Every time. Every time. Down is the ground. So when you say what's up and down on the globe, it's the ground, my nigga. Everywhere else. That's always the answer.
But I might need to file for divorce.
I'm just saying, man. Peggy was a solid rock. I mean,
she is a hard-faced white bitch.
But them feet big.
What the f***
Oh,
but them feet big, bro.
What does that mean, Shem?
In like an $800K home, which they leased. They've been leasing the home since 2022. What y'all have to understand is black people can have money too. This idea that y'all want to paint this kid like he is somebody who is grown as a have-not is not going to run true.
We know this.
Nobody is ever looking at
because his girl has confirmed it too.
Nobody
that Joe is a beater.
You have to understand the moment you as a woman take on the idea that you're going to be a career-driven individual, you have automatically stated that you are no longer a conservative woman.
That is outside of the box of conservatism.
I had to pull over and I kind of like held my chest a little bit because I'm like, I don't want to be in a few hours here. Katy Perry died on a Blue Origin crash. Like that would have destroyed my whole day, my whole week, maybe the rest of the year, honestly.
This sorry motherfucker texted me and was like, oh, let me just pull it up.
I said I cried. Also she made a baby with a nigga that had a narrow urethra. Do you know how good that gotta work? Do you know how good that gotta work? And she gets up there straight up like Gunna. Guilty.
Because
it's like, what? Who feels comfortable in any courtroom saying guilty? I feel like I'm a be honest. I'm gonna take the L for it because I know I'm gonna get hate.
He about to pick the white woman.
Going with Francine Smith. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This podcast is sponsored by Graffiti Tax Services. For all your tax preparation needs, you can go to graffititax.com. We're going to put the link right here. It should be somewhere. And yeah, you can head to them for during tax season. And if you have any financial or tax preparation questions, head to Graffiti Tax Services. They're our new sponsor. Thank you to Graffiti Tax Preparation Services. That's it.
Your whole life is revolved around talking about other people's lives.
What the fuck do you think your pussy ass is doing on that podcast
Rocky.
now?
I want to apologize to the fan base, to the supporters out there.
I don't.
Come on, you can't start the show like that, especially after
I was outside, period.
No, after your shenanigans, we couldn't even do a show
My
next week.
shenanigans are content.
That's cool, and I'm not mad at that, but you at least have to respect the audience and let them know we are apologetic for not being able to get them
I'm
out
not
an
apologetic.
episode.
Not
I
one
am.
bit.
I had a lot of stuff set up for us to talk about that day.
I will choose outside every time.
It was some dope. We had a dope show that was lined up for y'all, and I'm deeply, deeply apologetic for not getting that out there.
We didn't get to listen to rhetoric talk about the tariffs.
People wanted that was don't talk about the supporters. Like those are the people that support us.
I was outside.
All right, tell the people.
So I went to New York for my best friend's birthday, right? I love when I go outside and we get content as a result of me going outside because I be living life on the edge a little bit and it's necessary. So I went to New York for my best friend's birthday. And we was in the gay clubs, okay? We were there from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. That was the first night. The second night I was dead. So the first night, I was literally on my feet in heels. I was knocking back tequila and Red Bull all night. That's how I stayed alive. And that's my plan for next month.
Poor little heart.
It's fine.
Caffeinated.
You only live once. That's my plan for next month for the Memorial Day party. I'm gonna be drinking tequila and Red Bulls all night because obviously that is the key to keeping me up and lit for the entire night. So we was in the gay club. I was dancing. I was twirling through there like a little social fairy. I accidentally danced with a straight man.
See?
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
I danced with him and I turned around. I was like, "Hey, you gay?" He was like, "No." are you single? I was like, no.
So you was in there with the DL brother.
I'm married. And then I was like, what the are you doing in here? And he was like, oh, I'm just supporting a friend.
Nah,
da. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I just twirled away. I was twirling all over the place.
That was a DL brother. And see, that's where I need to be coming in at, man. The police some shit. Cause I would have had this turn up.
Listen, I was throwing these little cheeks. Period.
No, you need to be throwing them to the air. Don't be throwing them on nobody.
I was throwing them.
See?
And then the gay club is just so great. I feel so safe.
It's not. You just clearly just explain why you wasn't.
It was one guy. There was one straight man in the entire place.
They're all secret. It's about 10% of them.
If you buy me and a good song is playing, I'm dancing with you. Like if I'm in the gay club.
See.
And then I'm so like, I was getting so many compliments. I was walking past dudes. I was like, I love your outfit. They'd be like, I love your outfit, bitch. You are fabulous. I'm like, ah. Like, it's just community. Like, I'd be walking past people and they'd be like, T, yes. And I'd be like, thank you. Because my outfit was real cute. Mm-hmm. It was eating. Because I eats. Okay? And I know y'all can tell. So then I have more like outside stories.
Let's hear your shenanigans.
Because definitely shenanigans. I had to go to court the other day. And then my husband showed up and supported me at the court because his wife is a criminal. So it was just, I consistently violate traffic laws. Like I just on a regular basis, right? So
but she's working on it.
I am because I can't just do what I want all the time.
Especially in these times.
Yeah. So it was just an insurance thing. So we go to the court, and this was the most colorful courtroom that I have ever had the pleasure of experiencing. The first thing that I remember, they play this long ass video of all the options that you can do: guilty, not guilty, NOLO, whatever the fuck. So they call this African man's name, and then after they call your name, you're supposed to say what you plead. This man gets up. I am innocent.
That wasn't an option.
That wasn't on the list of things that they gave you, my nigga.
Nah, the way that man did that shit, like you would have thought he was in a movie. Like the way he got up, he looked around. I am innocent.
Africans are so poetic with the way they speak. I love the way Africans.
Then the lady,
like my enemies have forsaken me.
Then the lady who was next to him was like, not guilty. But let me tell you about her. All right. Because you need to get a little bit of the shine here. Okay. So again, she gets all the options or whatever. And she gets up there straight up like Gunna. Guilty.
Because
it's like, what? Who feels comfortable in any courtroom saying guilty?
Okay. Because when NOLO is like it doesn't affect you. It just goes away.
It's the Gunna plea.
That's how I perceived it. I have used my NOLO before, and I did not know whether, because you can use it every like 5 years or every 5 years. I had already used it on like a speeding ticket because, like I told y'all, I be swerving and been in that corner like. So I didn't know if I could use it, but the lady called me into the office. I said guilty. She was like, you can do NOLO. You want to do that? I was like, yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
Suspend your license if you didn't.
Well, no.
That's what she said. She said if you would have did a guilty plea, they would have had to suspend your license.
Oh, shit. Well, I didn't even know that.
She wasn't even listening to nothing.
For 90 days, they would have had to suspend my license. So she let me do the NOLO. And I was like, great, let's do that. And then I had to pay that hefty fine, which, to be fair, was less than the amount of insurance I didn't pay for. So a win is a win. A win is a win.
But see, that's not true.
A win is a win.
Because that's not true. Because when you had to change your insurance over, you had to pay back.
It's still less.
How much?
Babe, I don't think you understand with the amount of speeding tickets I have and the fact that I have rear-ended somebody before, how much my insurance was. It has lowered since then.
We got to get you. We got to get you in some defensive driver classes, yo.
Okay,
we got to get you in some classes.
But we didn't even get through all of the interesting stuff that happened. So they called this other nigga's name. Nigga's name is Tim Quavius. This is the second time I'm holding back tears. I'm like, not the Key and Peele skit.
That's exactly because his last name was crazy too. I don't remember his last name, but his last name
didn't even matter. And then this old white man with a lawyer comes up, gray hair, barely can walk. I'm like, what is happening with this dude? He's telling his story. He's like, Your Honor, it was just a bad day. Like something got stuck underneath the pedal or whatever. He accidentally rear-ended somebody. It was just a bad day. That's what he was chalking it up to. The judge is like, well, you're being charged with a DUI. My mouth dropped. Sir, you underplayed that shit OD.
He tried to act like the drink didn't have shit to do what was going on. I was in sound mind.
Bad day.
I was of sound mind. You know what I'm saying? I was just driving the whip, and it got caught underneath the brake, and I couldn't stop. Nah, bro.
He was swerving and been in that corner.
Your breath reeked of alcohol.
I leaned over. First of all, we are too unserious. Like we were whispering to each other.
We were in the back
courtroom.
of the back of the courtroom
The whole time. I whispered. I said, "He was on that sauce."
He was drinking.
Like, what do you mean?
He was off the moonshine.
Oh my God. That shit was. And then he said he crashed his 30-year-old Corvette. He was like, and that was like my child.
He said that was like a baby to me.
Like, fuck the guy who had to be hospitalized.
Yeah, she did say he got whiplash. He's like, got a little bit of whiplash, but
just a little bit, but my car.
That's the serious crime here, actually.
Oh my God. Sometimes you just gotta like live life a little bit on the edge so that you can come back to your podcast and tell a funny story.
Or you just go sit in the courtroom for a little bit. Like nobody would have stopped us from going in there if we just wanted to sit there and find the colorful characters of the county. So
yeah. Maybe we just need to start watching court TV.
Just watch. Or we should just listen to the police radar.
Mm-hmm. That would be very
before we go to sleep. Just listen to the police radar. Everything. We got a 672 down here. We got an African American male. He's out here with his pants sagging. We got to go get him right now,
bro.
That's what they'll say.
Yeah. So I think you should definitely be outside a little bit more so you can come and tell us a little.
No, I'm not going back to New York. I'm not going back to New York.
That I said outside, nigga immediately wanted to shit on New York. Who did what did New York do to you?
It was just not for me, that's all.
Like New York wasn't even in the discussion, but New York wanted to New York.
All right. Now you are now listening to Talk FNF TV, and I am your host, Absurd Rhetoric, and I'm with my lovely and amazing and gorgeous co-host, Miss Reality.
Hi guys.
And we are live from Section 8. That's what niggas was saying.
Like you have never known a Section 8.
That's what niggas was saying though. They said that I was in Section 8 because I said a tweet. Niggas who I made a tweet about, they got upset. So they said I was in Section 8. I had said
people get upset about things you say on a regular basis.
Yeah, I was just using a line. Danny was using a line. They got mad that I guess they feel like they own that line. And I said, you made it a hot line. We made it a hot song. And it just got people in their feelings. So it's what happens, I'm not here to,
when you're smarter than people, things you say will get in their feelings.
It gets reactions out of them, and I love it. I enjoy the hate from it. So we appreciate it, man. We gonna keep doing it in the Section 8 here, big time with it.
You in Section 8 is hilarious.
I mean, it is. I mean, I want that to be the narrative. Like I'm Section 8 shawty.
Because he's the farthest thing from Section 8.
No, bro. That's why I can't. I'm in the mud with it. That's all I ever know. I think they seen when I you remember the dude who everybody said looked like Rory and they was on the Rory Maul podcast? He got the bob too. He the white boy with the bob. You never seen that?
No.
Remember I showed you the video and I was like, he was at the apartments. And I had, and I think I may have said that on my Twitter, like, oh, I used to stay in the apartment, so they thought.
Nah, them apartments was Section 8 for real. Yeah, 100%, 100%. The slums.
Hey man, that was a cheap place, man. Held it down, and I was respected. So nigga shot at me once and it was over with. Never happened again.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so we got to get into a lot that was going on, man. I was involved in some epic spaces this week. big time.
I saw some residual stuff.
I tried to tell you, man. You tried to say this wasn't going to lead. Look, man, this is some big time stuff here, man. We just been talked about everywhere. Mar-a-Lago was posting this. Academics was talking about it. Like, this was everywhere. So if y'all didn't see, Rocky and Joe Budden had a epic face-off. This was part 2. That's the thing. A lot of folks don't realize this was part 2 because the first one happened in Nick's space. So y'all should check out Screaming with Nick. That's my boy. He had a space where this first kind of just like boiled, and then it boiled over. And Dub, shout out to Dub with the files. Y'all check out his channel too. It erupted in his space. So I want to play a little bit of it just because, you know, it was elite. It was some elite stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
What? Yanking?
Okay, enough is enough now. Rocky, when you was around, you was the bitch with hips, no ass that nobody looked at like that because you didn't have nobody.
No, we're going someplace
Wait, hold
else
up,
with
because
it.
you're not going to keep talking like
You're going someplace
fucking
else.
Marilyn Monroe out there. Rocky, nobody in this crew wanted you.
We can also get to that.
Nobody in this crew wanted you.
No.
Not one soul
we can get to
in
that.
this crew ever, not one day or
But
minute.
who did I want,
Wanted
Joe?
you.
Who did I ever
So
want,
stick
Joe?
to
That
your
wasn't the
rebrand
You're deflecting.
and stop it.
You're deflecting once again. That's not the topic we was on, but I'll answer that and then I'll get back to what I was saying. Whether anybody wanted me there or not, it's neither here nor there because that wasn't the relationship I had.
It's here and there.
It's not. That was not the relationship.
Why you keep talking like you was running around like super baddie bitch? Nobody looked at you like that.
It sucks because Joe's voice is
Nobody
naturally
ever wanted to fuck you.
domineering.
Nobody ever tried to
That's
talk
fine.
to you. Nobody
That's
ever invited you to none of
Joe,
the sexy
that's
turn up
fine. Audio
orgy
experience,
type.
you're
That
right.
was not it. Stop lying to these goofy niggas.
Joseph.
That's why I didn't like
Hold
it.
on.
Exactly.
Chill out.
Wait, why we gotta be
That
goofy
wasn't
niggas?
necessary, man.
What do you
No,
say?
because
He called us goofy
trying to get
niggas.
Sexy to y'all.
again. He does not. He can't stand the truth. He's like, goddamn, it's like me burning
But
sage
she
in a room
gotta
full of
stop
demons.
coming over
But
here
stop
pumping
trying to
that up
talk
like
over me. Let's have
anybody
the
I thought that was corny.
in
Pumping
this
that up.
crew
Let's have
ever
the
looked at her like that.
conversation. The conversation
that
at
was
hand
not
is
her.
no. The conversation at hand is because you always try to bring other people into the conversation. Imani, Ice, Ish, Corey, Parks, all of these people. If you want to group them in, I'm glad nobody wanted me like that because I didn't want them either. We didn't have that relationship. We had a family style friendship. So that's cool. But if we're going to act like every time I came out the bathroom, you wasn't sitting on the floor beating your fucking dick and I had to walk past your nasty ass. Yeah, let's not fucking play now. Because
Rocky,
every time you come in this motherfucker
talking.
with the lies, I'm going to take this shit to the real truth. I be trying to hold your little nasty
Okay,
ass down.
newsflash to this room full of
Newsflash,
goofies.
nothing. The motherfucker keep
I
a
beat
bottle
my
of
dick.
lube everywhere.
what's
We-
up?
and
he
we
goes.
know this.
Nobody
If
is
I went
ever
to the
looking at
bathroom,
his
you.
girl has
the motherfucker would beat
confirmed
the
it too.
motherfucking
Like,
dick. If I'm
Nobody
the
that
look
nigga
at
Joe is a
the
dick
motherfucker
beater.
was sleepwalk in the fucking bed and grab a fucking
day,
titty.
nowhere like
Knock
that.
it
Stop
off,
that.
Joe.
Fabulous looked
See,
at it.
I'm just
Fabulous was looking at it.
Then
overstimulated
why she
already.
don't
Just
talk
the two of
about
them.
that
So-
every
Why you
day
come
for
in
the
the
next
room with
5
me?
years?
Okay, so I do want to kind of just give a little break because I was in the space the entire time. So I want to make sure like we give context because everybody likes to paint this like, oh, Rocky just crashing out and all this other stuff, and she's obsessed with Joe. And like that's not what was going on at all.
What was going on?
We like what people got to also understand is Rocky and on the We Works crew, we built a rapport with her, so she's cool with us now. Like it's not like she's just coming in just to shit on Joe anymore. Like she comes to just chop it up with us. She fuck with us.
She be in there with y'all all the time.
Yeah, she actually thinks of us, thinks a little highly of the guys over there. That's why he kept naming all of us in there, calling us goofs and stuff. Because she sits down and literally chills with us.
She has a podcast with Danny and some other people in there, right?
That's gonna be coming soon. The I Stop the podcast later is different, but they got a podcast coming soon. Y'all make sure y'all check that out too. But I do want to give a little heads up of what was going on. So in the space, we were all chilling and talking, and Imani comes up on stage. Imani's engaging in the conversation. We, kicking it, do what we do. We joke around.
Yeah.
She asked him a question because again, she just had a space with Joe when Joe was trying to say, oh, she loved him and all this other stuff. So she asked Imani, keep it real. Have I ever in any capacity seemed like I was in love with Joe? Imani says no. Mm-hmm. He then kind of turns the conversation into like them needing each other to get on Love and Hip Hop and stuff. And then that's when the conversation explodes. Joe comes on stage basically saying, oh, you lying. And that's what it turns into that. To she telling everybody he beating his dick outside the door while she using the bathroom.
Which, at what? I'm just so taken aback by Joe sitting outside the bathroom while Rocky's using it and beating his dick. Like
I just don't. The logistics is what I thought about
you
as well.
can't see nothing. Like, what are you just getting pleasure from? Like the
thought
of like her pussy is out on the other side of that door.
According to her, she said that he was listening to her pee. So
oh my God, Joe is freaked out.
This is what I think about when I think about the logistics of this situation. All right.
Oh my God.
So they're chilling, maybe listening to some music or whatever. You know, Molly's probably being passed around.
Molly is definitely being.
You know what I'm
passed
saying?
around.
And Rocky's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Joe's ears pucker up. You know, as he gets excited.
Ew. I'm cringing.
So then,
I don't like
as
that.
Rocky starts to persist to the bathroom, he has to then make a beeline to the bedroom to get the wet platinum, because I don't imagine this being a dry sesh. Like this is
wet
like
platinum.
It's a lube. So he's going to go grab the lube.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he goes.
It makes it creepier that you named the brand of lube. I would
because
like
that's the
to
brand
say
of lube that he talks about.
Oh, okay.
This is all within canon.
So now there's another layer of discomfort that like
this is canonical lube.
We know that which brand of lube that Joe uses. So I wish to know less about this man.
He jets to the room, grabs the wet platinum down to the guest bathroom, and then I guess he just listens to the stream. I'm assuming that's what's getting him off.
She said how many times? So this happened.
Yeah, that was his thing apparently to her.
Girl,
he's Joe CK. I don't know what else we can put it at.
My question in this scenario for Rocky is, one, did you not feel uncomfortable with that? And two, why did you keep coming around if every time you came out the bathroom he had meat in hand? Like
I think it's kind of exaggeration to say it was every time.
No, but like,
and like
one time is enough time.
And I think too, when you're in that world where you're like doing different drugs and you're partying and kind of chilling, certain things don't look as weird in the moment, because not like he's grabbing on her, touching her. Even though she did say in the space that one time he was sleepwalking and copped a feel on her while she was sleeping. Like she was really waking shit up the whole space. Like I said, man, like you can hate on the spaces all you want, but
it be dramatic shit happening in there.
We are creating content that is turning and getting to places like Mar-a-Lago, academic. Like people are reposting.
Milagro?
Yeah, Milagro. What did I say? Milagro?
You said Mar-a-Lago 2 times.
Oh, I don't care about her. Milagro, my bad. But and then even Rory came into the room later the next day when we were talking, and he said the craziest part of the space was after everybody was like quit arguing and everybody was done. Y'all was like, yo, we did it.
Because y'all are messy.
People don't understand. WeWork has been organizing this for months. Like, not in the sense of we tried to make this happen, but we've been creating a space where people are comfortable coming in and waking shit up. Like, we've had tons of other people come in. It started with Willow Ryder. And now we have opened up to, like, now we're really creating real spaces. People see what we're doing. People are like shouting us out on our entertainment level and the value that we're bringing. So like, I don't want to hear all that anymore, man. WeWork is up.
Shout out to y'all.
And shout out to Rocky, man. Like it's tough because I know a little bit more about certain things that they were kind of not being direct about in that moment. And so when I know my side of the story, that's why I'm very empathetic for it, because I feel bad.
From outside looking in, like not having any context or anything, it just kind of, I was afraid a little bit because it just looked like she was just crashing out on a timeline. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what is happening? Like, I was like, ooh, like, but I hope she takes this like momentum and everything that she has going on and uses it. Cause I do enjoy listening to her. So, like, curse niggas out. I love listening to
elite level.
I love listening to women from New York curse niggas out. I think we do it the best.
And then she has that Florida little influence in there too.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, because you said it before. The first time we talked about it, you said she sounded like she was from the South.
Oh, because the way she said
pussy ass.
Yeah, the way she said pussy ass. I was like, that's not the way you say that if you're fully from New York. She said that like a Southerner. But yeah, like I was having a little bit more context. Okay, but I was just like a little bit like, oh my God, girl. Yeah,
because she, like I said, man, them folks do be violating her too. So that's why I don't be like, I'm not the type of person who I'm like, oh, you shouldn't be going after people such and such. I don't really respond to certain things because it's sometimes to me, the level of people who are criticizing me don't feel like I can articulate myself in a way that they'll be able to understand. So it doesn't become, it becomes trivial for me. But she has such an art of it. Like she just tears people down.
I saw
effortlessly.
Them screenshots that she posted of
The text
Joe.
message?
Yeah. And I was like, he was definitely flirting. Like,
Yeah, you can't say you wasn't flirting.
yeah, like him saying that nobody wanted you, and then in the text being like, "Oh, was trying not to look at your juicy, sexy thighs."
Yeah.
Like, nigga, come on now.
And then, and I want to wrap it up here too, Joe. I just did not appreciate you kind of throwing us in there. You trying to throw me in there like, oh, I'm with Fred. No, brother, we not in this together, brother.
We not on the same team.
No, brother, you on that side, I'm on my side. Don't try to do that, because then like you doing that, and then he calling us goofies, and he's saying we like lame and all this other stuff. Like that's not. No, I'm not falling for none of that. He tried to be like, because I was putting sad faces. And I was like, bro, like, this ain't it. Like, in the middle of you, just like, man, can we just not do it like this? And he's like, man, I'm with Fred here. Nah. And then the one thing that was crazy, and I hope that this was true. I don't think this was who we accused it to be. But Joe was like, all right, I love y'all boys. And then somebody said, love you too. And I right now, I hope it's no one from WeWork that said that we are doing a knowledge analysis. And we will take that person to court if needed. But homie court will happen.
Don't tell that nigga you love him too.
Don't. That is not our that is not our scripture. That is not our dogma at all. That's not what we do in the work. I promise y'all to that. But no, like I said, more to come. We making more and more moments. And I'm just glad to see where this is happening, man. We doing our thing. So shout out to the WeWork again.
Definitely shout out to y'all. That was definitely a salacious space. A couple salacious spaces. So
some of our best work, man.
Yeah, y'all are messy bitches. For sure.
For all the drama.
For shit show.
We are for all the drama.
That is one of my favorite Atlanta slang terms.
What?
For shit show.
For shit show. That was the one that you adopted the most?
Yes. As the first time I heard that, I was like,
that's going into my Rolodex.
Mine now.
All right, let's get into let's talk about the Karmelo Anthony thing, man. I think that's something that did happen while we were gone. So if y'all not aware, there was an incident in Texas at I think it was a community track meet. It wasn't even a high school track meet. It was like a community track meet where a young man, Karmelo Anthony, was in an incident where he had to defend himself according to him, and he stabbed a Austin Metcalf.
Yes,
that ended in losing his life. So I do want to give condolences for that, because especially as a kid, 17-year-old, when you hear how they tried how they're explaining the story, you read about it. It says that he passed in his twin brother's arms. Nobody wants to see that. That's horrible.
That's horrific. And then the brother's gonna have trauma for the rest of his life probably. So nobody wants that.
Yeah. So, but I do want to get into kind of what's happening, because it's really been turned into like a racial war in regards to how this happened and turned out. People are trying to paint Karmelo Anthony as some type of thug, some type of violent offender, when he has no history of it. He's actually quite the opposite. High grades, done very well in school. I believe the picture with the gun that they've been trying to show with him is an air gun. That's not even a real firearm. And he's with other kids that don't look like him. Like there's one black boy and then two other kids that have of different other races. So, and we can also show, and what's been so disgusting with this is they'll try to paint Karmelo Anthony as this thug for these guns, but we can find plenty of pictures of Austin doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's where, like I said, it gets very nasty, because instead of taking this case at its merit, us trying to find, what exactly happened in the moment, we are turning this into a smear fest of two kids who, I don't know what kind of kid Austin was, but I don't think he deserves to be his name smeared, nor do I think Karmelo Anthony does.
Yeah.
Because I think from what we're being told, I listened to a clip in the video. I don't know if I can find it or not. There's a clip of a video where a man said he was at the location and he saw what happened. And he said that Karmelo Anthony was sitting. I want to see if I can find it so I can play it.
Self-defense.
That's what
some of the eyewitnesses said.
Mm-hmm. So that was what he was claiming, that self-defense. But what the gentleman said was Karmelo Anthony was sitting by himself. Austin and his brother came up to him, told him he needs to leave, And then that's when the altercation came up. He put his hand into his book bag and said, touch me again, and something's going to happen. He gave him a warning. They commenced to touching him, putting their hands on him. And that's when he
tried to jump him.
Yeah,
or
that's when
they were jumping him.
According to what the man was saying, yeah. He said the dude was trying to jump him. And then that's when he reacted and, stabbed him and ran off. So this is what I got right here.
Crazy bad. It was raining. They got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity, so I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bro. It wasn't a school track meet. So
I want to get into some more parts to that because there's been a lot of misinformation that's been placed out. They've been trying to paint again Karmelo Anthony and anybody who's supporting him as these monsters. First off, he has deserved every bit of money that he has earned in regards to those GoFundMes. Whatever dollar he has gotten, he deserves that.
GoFundMe took away the money, right, and refunded everyone that donated to him.
Not that I haven't heard any confirmation. Everything I heard for that is they still had a GoFundMe.
Okay.
They haven't liquidated it from the last part that I saw, but they have had a GoFundMe. So one of the things that they were trying to say was that his parents were buying a new house. So yes, they did mention that they were going to acquire a new residence, but they were going to do that for his safety.
Yeah,
because he's been getting tons of threats. Because
their current home is listed on the white pages and has been for a while, and people found their address. So what they found out was that they were in like an $800K home, which they leased. They've been leasing the home since 2022. What y'all have to understand is black people can have money too. This idea that y'all want to paint this kid like he is somebody who is grown as a have-not is not going to run true because it does not exist. The boy knows his father. The boy has been doing impeccable in school. So this idea that they're going to try to paint of him black kid
is not going to work. That kid was a young man defending himself. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but black people do have the right to defend themselves. I hate to tell y'all that because I know it makes a lot of y'all feel uncomfortable who are not black to hear that. But black people have the right to defend themselves. And that's just the truest thing to it. And in his state, people are trying to go and say that, oh, this is first degree murder. That's why I already think he's about to get off of this. Because if you're trying to put this as first degree murder, are you crazy? Do you know what first degree murder means? That means he went there with the intent to kill Austin. That everything that he did and set up was to kill Austin. What does that even make any sense?
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense because he didn't even approach the man he killed. The man that ended up dead approached him.
And then there's a phrase that I'm not hearing enough of that I heard a lot during Trayvon Martin. You remember that phrase? You remember the law that everybody kept?
Stand your ground?
Stand your ground. So I want to take a look at stand your ground in Texas and just see what it says. Stand your ground, Texas. Let's see what it says. Okay. This is AI overview. So this is it may not be the most accurate. So I just want to read just what the general consensus, what they have here says. Law means an individual have no duty to retreat before using force in self-defense if they are lawfully present in a location and reasonably believe they are in imminent danger. This principle applies in various situations, including home vehicle, place, yada yada. But essentially, what it is saying is when you are involved in an altercation where someone is violating your space and who you are and your entity, that you do not have to retreat. You can defend yourself.
Yeah, if you feel like you're in danger.
And that's exactly did that not sound like that?
Yeah.
According to what that man said, what he just said in that video?
He gave them a warning, was like, if you put your hands on me, I will defend myself. They put their hands on him. He defended himself. That's exactly what happened.
And they just hate to see that. Y'all, and again, I'm not gonna say anything what y'all would love to cut up to say. So they're like, oh, look at this black man. No, I'm not gonna revel in this boy death. I'm just gonna tell you, black people have the right to defend themselves. Mm-hmm. And if it comes at your expense, I'm sorry. Maybe you should not violate the space of black people.
Yep.
And black exactly bodies. It. Because even in this situation, Black lives matter.
If they weren't in that boy's face in the first place, then he would have been alive. If they weren't trying to jump him or whatever they were trying to do, he also would have still been alive. So it's very unfortunate that he died, but y'all need to stop like violating black people.
Mind your business. Stay away. Because it was crazy that another video was going viral that kind of painted the situation of how these things really occur. Because I've experienced stuff like this. I went to school in a predominantly white institution. I've heard different experiences. I remember one time I was walking into a convenience store. I was right down the street from where my apartment building was or whatever. And I'm walking in and this dude's coming in. So I just hold the door. He said, it was a white guy. He said, "Thanks, my nigga." I had to stop. I was like,
I'd have grabbed the back of his shirt, yanked him out of that door, and then walked through myself, slammed the door. Get the door your motherfucking self, honky.
And the only reason I didn't react, because like I said, he already walked through and I stopped. And the only reason, because I knew if I walked in, I was going to say something and it was going to spark some shit off. So I just closed the door and went to another convenience store because I knew what I was going to do. But you had to experience stuff like that all the time, because the moment I react to him now, that gives them everything they want.
Yeah.
All I would have done was lost. All that would have done, I would have lost. As soon as the moment I would have reacted to that, I would have lost.
Yeah, 100%.
And being in those situations, you always have to be 10 times smarter than the white people around you, because they're going to try to play you out your position every time with the quickness. And then try to, oh, bro, you're insane, man.
I'm going to be the insane bitch every time.
But and unfortunately, and you can't really do that because you're giving them what they want.
I know, but it feels so good.
No, it doesn't, because everything.
No, I'm fucking with you.
I know that, but I understand that, but it's a serious matter in that moment, because look what just happened. What are we talking about right now?
We know as black people ourselves, we have to have so much self-control. We have to hold everything back. We have to bottle everything up when things like that happen, because even if you are the person who is being egged on, you can't react, because if the police show up or if authorities show up, then you're going to be seen as the aggressor regardless of what started the situation. So you always have to take that into consideration, and you always have to be calm, and you always have to take a deep breath. Like, you have no other choice. It's either fucking crash out and go to jail, or suck it up and move on.
Or my approach in the future has been to just respond with what they do. So if you disrespect me verbally, I'm just going to disrespect you verbally. I'm going to make you initiate the contact, so that then by law can now play into the effect.
Looking back now, what would you have done in that situation?
No problem, cracker.
That's not enough.
Honky? Peckerwood?
I don't. It would have had to. I would have just had to slash his tires. I don't know.
See, like that's. But to me, I
don't know.
I feel like when you do that, you give that more power to them than it has over you. So it's like you're allowing the word to feel like the only way that's equal is for me to damage property or damage you, and that allows them to know the word has more power over you than anything you say to them. So to me, it's disrespectful. I call them redneck, call them honky, call them crack. Like, I'm going to give you the same disrespect that you gave me. And I'm going to add more sauce onto it, because I'm probably going to say a word or use a word.
Words have that much weight to them.
Then add a stupid cracker. You could say that too. Like, you can add all that to it.
I'm gonna have to give you a
Dumb
couple
honky.
sentences. It can't just be. It's gonna have to be a
But see,
couple sentences.
The moment that you say that, you admit that word has more power over you.
It's gonna have to be a couple sentences. I'm gonna have to look around.
And you're
gonna
giving
have to talk about. I'm gonna have to mention.
you're
that you
giving the
fuck
cracker
your
a
cousin.
superpower. Like, I don't understand why you would feel like you need that. Your people killed them in Haiti.
Yeah, okay, that was not here.
That's what I'm saying, in Haiti. So I'm saying, like, why I wouldn't understand why you would feel the need to even allow that word to mean anything.
Because of my ego.
But you can demean them.
It just
with your words.
There's no word that has the weight to it as like a nigga does.
Okay, so let's
that I can say to a white person, honky, cracker, whatever. Those are all cute, but none of them have that weight to them, and there's no comparison. The N word has so much like ugly history behind it. There's no equivalent that I could call a white person that gives the same impact. That's what I'm saying.
Small dick cracker.
So it would maybe.
Like, you just gotta add more sauce to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has to. It'll have to be a couple sentences. No, I'm gonna have to.
That's crazy. Giving a cracker a haiku after he called you a nigga is nuts.
A haiku?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, that's nuts.
I'm gonna give you a verse, nigga.
That's wild. Just call them a cracker back. Like, that's just the best way to return it.
I don't know. I just feel like it's not that. It's not. Crack is not that deep. Do white people get that upset by being called cracker?
You had them stupid or something to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you just say cracker, yeah, like, they're gonna be like, who cares? But you stupid redneck cracker, like, yeah, they're not gonna like that.
Okay. I would have to look around, make some observations, and read you specifically.
You'd be like this, hey, you pencil dick Peckerwood? Like, come on, like,
I would never say Peckerwood.
Peckerwood is good. That's what they call him in jail.
I just like that.
In prison.
That don't roll off the tongue. That sounds like a lame ass term to me. I like pencil dick though. We
want to bring back a little something that we did. We saw that it worked a little, just not too much on the YouTube, but we seemed like we got a lot of good feedback from the people who did see it.
Yeah, so genuine engagement.
We're going to bring back the brackets, and I think we got an interesting, topic or list for this one. So we're not going to do BBLs. We're going to be a little more in the animated. So what we decided to pick was cartoon animated moms. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to bring in another friend. So we have Shim back on the show.
Friend of the show.
Yo. What's going on, everybody?
All right, let's get you a little hand clap, a little bit going on.
Yeah, clap me up. Clap. Pause. Wait, no.
Shout out to Shim. All right, so I got the list. You got the list, Shim. You know what we doing?
I'm ready. All
right, so I think we should start. We'll start with the number 1 seed. We got Marge Simpson going against Miss Turner from Fairly Odd Parents. So I want to also, before we start, I want to make sure I give it a criteria. So what we want to do is actual like behaviors as a mom, like being supportive. Boo! I'm just saying, like, I think we're rating them as moms. So being supportive.
This was a bad bitch contest.
Yeah, I'm rating that waist to ass ratio.
See, I just feel like that's just a weird thing because they're drawings, most of these people.
Yeah, but a lot of them got body.
All right, we can change it to that then. We're going to be more misogynistic. Let's double down into it.
It's way more fun if we're just misogynistic.
When I added the people on here, I wasn't thinking about the way they looked, so I changed some people around.
Nigga was thinking about motherhood.
I feel like I took some lookers off of here for some people who were just moms.
Why would you ever do that?
That was just what happened, but we can continue. So,
okay.
I'm not mad with it. So we're doing the hottest animated moms list.
Yeah.
We're going to start this off. We got Marge Simpson versus Miss Turner from Fairly Odd Parents. I think this is, fairly obvious. We've seen Marge get down. We've seen her let the fro down.
Okay, when Marge straightened that hair,
it's different.
Marge with the straight hair is different. I can't lie.
I don't even think it's a
competition. I did my Googles though. Y'all sleeping on Miss Turner a little bit. I can't lie.
No, she do got the body because I did have it pulled up.
She got some body.
Because there were a couple scenes where she was in a bathing suit.
That bathing suit body is crazy.
Yeah,
we not doing the square body. What you do got a little? He did hip it up. I see that. He added a little shape to her. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Don't sleep on Miss Turner.
I just feel like Marge had higher moments. That's not. He didn't draw that though. I feel like you can't be using like alternative like photos from like fan fiction, my nigga. No.
Okay,
like you
fair,
gotta
fair.
use straight from the pen of the niggas who wrote the show.
I'm just a little bit I'm a little bit torn because Marge, that's a strong black queen right there.
Marge being a strong black queen is insane.
Marge is a black
Crazy.
woman. The Simpsons, that's a black family. That's a biracial family.
At the maybe.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm going Miss Turner, bro. I can't lie.
Man.
It's because of the hair. Marge's hair be turning me off.
Wow, so you hate black women.
Wake it up.
You hate black women.
We see a trend.
It's too high. You know what I mean? How y'all like?
All right, so
I
I'm
love
going
my
Marge.
black queens, but damn.
You the tiebreaker.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Marge. Like,
All right.
it's just the way that she held her arms too. Like, she looked a little frumpy.
This next one's gonna be
Miss
tough.
Turner.
This next one's gonna be a little tough right here. We got Wilma Flintstone, and we got Judy Neutron from the Jimmy Neutron show. This one is tough because Wilma got body. Like,
She do, and her outfit is cute too.
Wilma is stacked with it.
Yeah, her outfit is
But
fire.
Judy, granted, she do got a big head, but besides the big head, it makes the rest of the body look like it's elite level stuff. Like Judy, she be holding on. Like she got that little Stanford wife kind of look to her.
She got that little beauty mole.
True.
I'm gonna have to immediately go with Wilma.
Wilma, I can't be mad at Wilma. Wilma has some time where she's been drawn canonical drawings. She got it going on, especially when she let the hair down too.
Super tiny waist. I love the updo.
She put the little 2-piece on go out. It's nuts. She got everybody saying yabba dabba do. I'm just being for real.
Not shut the fuck up.
I ain't never seen a nigga yabba dabba do. For granted, Hugh does go crazy. I believe Judy is
You
snatch.
go crazy for that thing, man.
I believe it's
You feel me?
snatch. I believe Judy snatch. Like it bite back.
She got that
I
genius
hate-
pussy. You feel
But
me?
Wilma
Like,
it's too much. Wilma's elite.
I could. This was a hard one for me, so I could accept either answer. Honestly,
You
feel
gotta
me?
pick
So
one.
I ain't mad at Wilma. We could go Wilma.
Okay,
I'll fuck
let's
with
do Wilma. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so the next bracket, I think
This is probably the toughest one of the first round.
yeah.
Hardest one of the first round, easy.
So it's gonna be Francine Smith versus Trudy Proud, and both like top tier bad bitches.
Yeah. Like especially like when the first time they drew the Proud family, like Trudy had a wagon. Like she was carrying it after she looked good after twins. I'm not gonna hold you.
She
Mhm.
and then the hazel eyes and the bob.
It was Vanessa Williams.
It's
essentially.
crazy.
Yeah, no, the face was also top tier on top of the body being top tier. And this is the first time in this bracket that we've come across that.
But Francine, strung out Francine, drugged up Francine. I'm trying to tell you, that's good work right there.
And
Francine is just a different level.
Yeah.
Too. Like,
And then
she's a different type
Francine-
of bitch.
she looks like she had lip fillers a little bit.
Like if you know Francine's history, if you watch the show, Francine, she was a little bit of a slut. Like she was getting busy.
She was definitely a little bit of a slut.
She was like Jenny off of Forrest Gump. Like that's for real. That's exactly who she was. So this is why it's tough for me, man. This is. I feel like I'm a be honest. I'm gonna take the L for it because I know I'm gonna get hate.
He about to pick the white woman.
I'm going with Francine
about to
Smith. I'm
pick-
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm jumping down on it,
Holy
man.
shit.
I'm jumping on the grenade, man. Y'all, you know how I know I don't
Controversy
feel a problem with this? Because y'all had no problem color coding Francine to be sexy red. So y'all love Francine too.
I remember
That's
that.
a good point. That's a good point right there.
I'm still going Trudy.
I'm the tiebreaker. Oh man, that's tough.
Cause Trudy,
That's real
Trudy is
tough.
bad. Like I'm going back and forth, and it's just Trudy's face is better than Francine's face, and that's what pushes it over the edge for me.
This is a tough one. I'm gonna go Trudy. I love a light skinned dick. You feel me? That's my personal weakness.
Yeah, and the
I
hazel
can't.
eyes.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's some real sucker shit you just poured off.
It's tough. It's tough. Hey,
Some real sucker shit you did, Shim. All right.
we fighting for black women on this side, sir.
See, okay, we biased. Salute. All right, so we got the next one, Linda Belcher. This is from Bob's Burger. And then Lois Griffin. I don't even think this is even a competition. Even on Linda's best day.
Yeah, it's Lois.
She doesn't stand close to Lois.
It's really not.
Yeah, so we unanimously Lois.
All right, so we got next one.
Lois killing her.
We got Cartman's mom and Elastigirl.
Come on now, Elastigirl. Can you?
Cartman's mom took the entire Broncos.
Fat.
Yo, hold on. Do y'all not realize that Cartman's mom slept with the entire Broncos team, the Super Bowl winning Broncos team? Like, do we not understand the what this woman can do?
Okay, but she also shaped like a rectangle.
Sometimes the craziest things come in the wildest packages.
Now, why did you put these two together? You wanted Cartman's mom to lose.
I'm trying to keep it a bean.
Cause Elastigirl, like, have you seen?
That's not fair though. That's like,
it's not fair.
That's like,
right.
That's like comparing
It's
yourself
not.
to Mr. Fantastic when you know the nigga can make his meat like thicker and longer on command.
Exactly.
You
that
think-
ass could be as fat as you want it to be.
You think Elastigirl could elongate and thicken her clit?
Yes, she could turn it into a dick.
Oh my God!
She could turn herself out.
Oh my God. We went too far.
We went too far. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's definitely on
Disney
porn
coming
cartoon.
for y'all.
Yeah.
We jumped the shark in the second bracket. Okay, that's why again I'm gonna go Cartman's mom just because I respect a legacy of work. She has a body of work. She puts it down. She has a lot of utility. I'll just say that.
A lot of utility is crazy.
Goodbye.
It's Elastigirl. It's
Yeah,
big,
it's
it's
definitely
big Elastigirl on the side.
OD bad. Elastigirl is like the Meg the Stallion of cartoons.
Yeah, literally.
All right. So we got Nicole Waterson. If y'all haven't watched the Amazing Adventures of Gumball, and we got Mom from Futurama. I'ma sound like a nasty man.
Yo, you crazy. This nigga, what is wrong with this man?
I'm going with Mom from Futurama, yo. Like, that old woman got a little bit of a wagon underneath that. Like, have y'all ever seen Futurama? She got this little thing like she this big old woman, but really she got a nice slender figure underneath. And I think it look all right on her. I'm not gonna hold you. And she had 3 kids afterwards. And it's from the future, and it's future pussy.
It's crazy because neither answer makes you feel good. Because it's crazy. I gotta pick the cat lady. I gotta pick Nicole. She a whole animal.
You going anamorphic? Okay, I'm not mad with it.
Bestiality on this side. You feel me?
Honestly, I agree with Shem. Neither choice makes you feel good at all. I feel like a creep, but I'm gonna have to go Nicole only because of those couple scenes where she just goes fucking ballistic. Like, I like that. I think that's sexy.
Hey man, I'm just gonna say Mom from Futurama is a like global. She's like Elon Musk of the future. So I don't know if that means
powerful
anything.
Woman.
I'm just saying, but she can take her L. All right, I think this one is gonna be another tough one. Not the toughest, but I think it's the second one, toughest one of the round. We got Dexter's mom against Jane Jetson from the Jetsons.
Okay.
Dexter's mom, white gloves, the tightest of waist, and the hippiest of hips.
That ass is fat.
Insanely.
You hear me?
Just crazy.
Red hair.
Insane.
Ginger with the fatty.
I think we all gonna pick Dexter's mom.
I think this is universal. Don't get me wrong. Jane Jetson was solid now.
Yeah.
She kept it tight. She kept a good look. She could spend a little bit too much money here and there, but she was loyal. She held it down. You can't be mad at it. But I think it's without a shadow of a doubt, it was Dexter's mom.
Yeah.
All right, last one. I think this one is going to be a tough one too, but I just think for all the wrong reasons.
Right here.
We got Peggy Hill from King of the Hill, and we got Bunny Bravo, Johnny Bravo's mother. Now that's a sweet woman, and if you look at when they drew her when she was younger, she could get it done. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm gonna have to go Bunny Bravo immediately because Peggy Hill looks like a man.
No, okay. We watched the episode when Peggy got dressed up by the hoe. Remember when the hoe came to live at the Hill residence, and she dressed her up and put her in some heels and put the girls up. Peggy was looking like something you pay top dollar on the corner for now.
On the corner.
Well, they was hoes, so I mean, it wasn't like she was dressing up to be like a prestige woman. She was trying to show off the girls. I ain't gonna let y'all do Peggy like that. I'm standing on my vote going to Peggy Hill.
I think because you have like good memories around watching King of the Hill, that's why you're voting this way. But Bunny Bravo is definitely a much better bitch by leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds, my nigga. Look at this.
She was fly. I ain't gonna lie to you.
She was definitely fly. I'm gonna have to go Peggy Hill.
Oh wow!
The upset. I'm with your boy. You feel me? I seen Peggy. I seen what she could do.
You seen the potential. Hey,
and
also this. She made a baby with a nigga that had a narrow urethra. Do you know how good that pussy gotta work? Do you know how good that pussy gotta work? That's like elite level pussy right there. You was able to find the little critters and made some shit shake. She made some shit shake.
I'm uncomfortable immediately.
She made some shit shake, yo. Shout out to Peggy Hill, yo. All right, we going back to the top. So now we got Marge Simpson against Wilma, right? I believe that's where we were at.
I gotta hold on. Yep.
All right, so again, Marge, A1 looker. We got some of the best looks for Marge. Granted, we did say it got to be her hair down. I think that's a little anti-black.
It is.
So I think that should be taken into consideration to what Shim's going to say. But Wilma with her hair down,
crazy.
Wilma with her hair down, that's a hard out. That's a tough out. Wilma then got some looks now. That's really a tough one for me, man.
Sorry, Marge.
All right, we got one for Wilma.
I'm sorry, girl. I'm Wilma.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Wilma too, honestly. I like this because of the aesthetic and the pearls and the dress and everything. I just like the way she looks a little bit more than Marge.
Marge has some good, nice pearls too. Don't get me wrong. Hey,
I was gonna give Wilma a pearl necklace.
I was gonna go Marge. Shout out to the yellow ladies. All right, so now we got to go next to we have
Trudy and Lois.
So we got another. This is a tough face off now.
Trudy. Trudy immediately Trudy. I'm crossing Lois out.
Do we not remember Lois when she was
don't
being a model? Lois when she was playing with her
fucking
ribs.
Piss me off, yo. Like don't piss me off.
Yo, she already took out one elite white man. I'm not letting that happen again, yo. I'm sure
That's
Lois
true.
Griffin.
It's Trudy. Face card, body, everything elite. It's just the only thing is
Trudy is just a great value Beyonce, man. We talking about Lois. Lois got busy. Lois was out here spinning shit.
I wish they changed her outfit more on Proud Family so that you could see her like a little bit differently.
Man, even the basic outfit, the denim shirt with the jeans with Lois, man. Excuse me, the khakis, yo. She got it done. Got it done.
It's Trudy for me 100%.
Nah, Lois. What you got, Shim?
I'm gonna go Trudy. I'm sorry.
You a fucking simp, dog. You a fucking simp.
We love black women over here, bro. Not for no
No, but also like
about?
I just genuinely think that she looks better.
She does. She honestly looks better in the face, the body, it all.
Yeah, in everything.
Aside from the black woman, she. All
right, I think this next one will wipe down. I'm going with the girl versus Nicole Waterson. So I think we need the end of the bestiality. What?
Yeah, the bestiality
Nicole
is over.
is the mom from Futurama?
No, we voted. Y'all voted for Nicole. Y'all did the cat lady.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
Elastigirl.
Yeah, Elastigirl. She wins that
Elastigirl.
Not even around. No more.
That's not even around.
No more of the cat women. All right, and now we got Dexter's mom versus Peggy. Oh man, Jesus.
What do you mean, Jesus?
Holy.
You hear him? What's wrong with him?
What is wrong with him? Because we know that Dexter's mom is winning.
Peggy, man.
Easily Dexter's mom. Let's not even do this.
It's not, but I'm just saying,
might
man.
need to file for divorce.
I'm just saying, man. Peggy was a solid rock. I mean,
She is a hard-faced white bitch.
but them feet big.
What the fuck does that mean?
Oh shit.
But them feet big, boy.
What does that mean, Shem?
Oh shit. I
right,
plead
man.
the fifth. I want no parts.
All right, man.
Because what does that mean?
I'm just talking trash.
Okay.
I'm going Dexter's mom.
Thank you, because you're wilding right now.
Peggy had them picture feet though. I ain't gonna hold you.
Dexter's mom got the craziest natural body. Like I don't know if I consider Elastigirl's body natural. She kind of got like the superhero BBL.
Yeah. Right, the Elasta BBL.
All right, so we got.
But Dexter's mom. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
So next one we got Wilma and Trudy.
Y'all know my vote.
You just can't even. You just going fake Beyonce the whole way.
Y'all know I'm going Trudy. I'm going Trudy up until a point where I can't go Trudy no more.
See, this is where it's tough too, because Wilma, like I said, Wilma got the down hair Wilma. I hate to keep bringing it up.
But down here Wilma rarely happened. I Googled it.
But when it did, it struck it out. But I'm going to go Trudy with this one, man. I didn't mean against the black
Wilma,
women
like the first lady. You kind of got to give her credit for being the OG, but
true.
Trudy, man. It's Trudy at the end of the day.
And Trudy's voice too. Oh my God.
I would have gave her twins too. Shout out to that man.
Shout out to Oscar Proud, man. All right, so who we got next?
I think we got Elastigirl versus Dexter's mom.
That's where it gets tough.
Battle of the wagons.
Yeah, this is where it gets tough for real. And then whoever wins this will be up against
the
Trudy.
finals. Yeah, this is the final four right here. So
Elastigirl and Dexter's mom. Now we gotta get into like face and everything too.
You gotta look at like the reboot Dexter's mom too, because like they kind of took some stuff away from her. Let's see.
Do we though?
I think
we gotta do our Dexter's mom.
I mean, the reboot was while we were still
youthful. I don't even know what the reboot looked like.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't even know there was a reboot.
Yeah, they did. They changed up the way they drew them a little bit, just a tad bit. It's tough, man. It's tough.
Is this what she looked like now?
I'm not sure if that's the most recent.
This is a hard one. I can't lie.
I know they changed it up just a little bit before they ended it. So
oh my God,
that's crazy. That's not canonical.
No, it's not.
I know exactly what you just saw.
Is it the tatted leg picture?
Yeah, that shit crazy.
Like what?
Hey man, I'm not gonna give this augmented woman. She's got superpowers. I'm not really for that. You know what I'm saying? I like them all natural. So I'm gonna go with Dexter's mom.
I respect that. I'm gonna go with Elastigirl just because I don't like Dexter's mom's haircut. I don't know what's going on with that.
That's
Personally,
crazy.
Not a fan. I'm very confused.
It looks like a mullet a little bit.
But you know, all the white women with the mullet got the fat ass though. That's like kind of like part and parcel with them. That kind of like it come equipped with it. Once they got a fat ass, they start to cut their hair short. That's all they know.
Now I'm looking at proportions at this point, right? Because I agree with y'all, but Dexter's mom has a really, really short torso, and Elastigirl has like a actual like.
But she can change it around. That's what.
It don't matter. I think I'm gonna go Elastigirl.
That's crazy, man. Disrespect.
I think I'm gonna go Elastigirl.
So much respect. Disrespect for Dexter's mom.
Do you remember when she looked back at it in the movie?
Do
you remember when she looked back at it?
Do you know Dexter's mom only had to look over an inch to see that she could look back at it? Like she just turned her head like a normal person and could see the back of her ass.
And she could see that ass in the peripheral.
I'm telling you. I don't even think she could wipe properly how big that ass was.
No, probably not. Her arms probably couldn't even.
Dexter had to invent something for her to wipe. Wake it up.
I'm with you. That ass is fat, but that haircut is, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I'm sorry.
I'm going Elastigirl based off of proportions.
All right, so now we're into the the finals, the last two. We got Trudy, who I kind of feel like is only here because of DEI.
Wow.
And we got Alaska Girl,
that was crazy.
who is a mutant woman. Look what we got going on here. The agenda is in full effect.
I think I succeeded because I think a black and a mutant is great. We don't have no whites on this list.
I mean, the last girl's a white. She's just a white mutant.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say she's a mutant before she's white. That's
funny.
All right, so this is a tough one, man.
First.
This is a tough one. I feel like I don't feel like I should go first though. I feel like Shem should go first.
Yeah, I think you should too, Shem.
All right, I'm gonna start it off. You feel me? In my personal bracket, this was also the finals, so this went about the way I expected.
Mm-hmm.
You know, two beautiful ladies, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to go with superhuman ass. You know what I mean? Gotta be Elastigirl.
I knew it.
It's a tough win.
It gotta be.
It's a tough win.
It gotta be Elastigirl. It's tough, but that thing is different, man. It's different.
All right,
it is.
So I'm gonna go next. And the reason why I'm going with this is because I'm against the augmentations and enhancements. And I'm going to stay in my DEI realm. And I'm gonna go with Trudy Proud for my winner. So now we're gonna put
vote black women at the end. It's crazy.
Well, you know, when we got a chance to win, man, we got to support each other. And you chose not to do that.
Oh shit! You gonna turn it on me? It's crazy.
So now, fair. Who are you going to support? Are you gonna tell this so you're gonna speak your truth, or are you gonna follow your code?
You know, there's one way I want to go, and then there's one way I feel like I have to go. But I feel like I'm gonna go where I want to go, and I feel so horrible for picking the big booty white woman over the black woman.
Here we go. We see true colors.
But I think I'm gonna have to go Elastigirl.
We see the true colors.
I think I'm gonna have to go Elastigirl.
So,
cause that is award-winning ass. Like,
come on. That's some high-level mutant milk right there. You feel me?
So
what are we doing?
So it's clear that you are a girl's girl, but you're just not a black girl's girl.
No, I'm definitely.
Shit.
That is horrible. If anything, I'm a black girl's girl before anything.
All right, well, Alaska Girl, you get the round of applause.
Yeah, that's the baddest.
All right, well, I want to thank you, Shem, man.
Bad bitch.
We appreciate your time, brother.
Of course. I appreciate y'all. Anytime y'all want to do some ass, you could call me.
All right, love you. Bye.
Love you guys. Peace.
All right, so now I wanted to talk about this because we always get into like black dating discussions, and they always, I feel like, especially in our algorithms, take control over what we see.
They do. Yeah.
And then we have like these people who then create these ideas, men and women alike, black men and women, they're like, will create these ideas that, oh, white people aren't having these issues, aren't having these kind of dating struggles or conversations. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to play this. So you familiar with Megyn Kelly, right?
Yes.
Conservative-ish journalist.
Yeah.
All right, so check this out. She's talking about what a lot of women in her same ideological sphere, conservative women, are going through with their problems with wanting to be working women and also be married.
Right. Young women, I talk to young conservative women all the time about their lives and their goals and, you know, the things that they want. And what's happening is they can't find men who are maybe more conservative. Usually they're looking for somebody who is religious, you know, like a lot of conservative women tend to be God-loving conservatives. And they can't find a lot of young men who want to marry a working woman now. And this is an actual problem that's coming up on the right. And to me, it's so sad because it's like, how did we get to the point where we're now telling young, conservative, amazing women that they're not attractive if they also work, if they choose to, let's say, do what I'm doing and what you're doing. and like get their voice out there. But I'll stick with me just because I think conservatives listening to this will like the thought of another Megyn Kelly voice up and coming. Well, why wouldn't we want that? Why would we take somebody who's talented in this field and really wants to make a difference and have the messaging to her be, you're really not that valuable unless you give it up and go into the home and only have a family and only raise a family. And not only are we sending her that message, but young men are actually believing that. They're actually believing it, especially on the right, because like the trad mom has gotten so popular. And it's like, no, if we do that, we're not going to have any strong conservative or right-leaning women to provide a role model for younger conservative women who, and there's nothing to apologize for here, don't necessarily want to spend all their 20s and their 30s getting married and having kids, or can't. They just weren't able to meet somebody and definitely don't need to be shamed over it.
That's crazy. What reality are we based in right now? Because you're talking about conservative men.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like,
and being surprised that said conservative men have conservative values.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was going to say, like, I feel like there's certain angles that we can attack this in. I think the most obvious one is like, you have to understand the moment you as a woman take on the idea that you're going to be a career-driven individual, you have automatically stated that you are no longer a conservative woman.
That is outside of the box of conservatism.
Yeah, you may have conservative principles. You may align with political parties that are conservative, but you in of yourself is an act of non-tradition.
That's why white women don't make sense. That's why conservative white women don't make sense. You want to be a working woman and then you shit on feminism and things of that nature. For white women, that is the reason that you are able to work. So you can't fucking play both sides of the fence. You can't want to work and make your own money and do all this shit and be conservative because it's fucking convoluted as fuck. And I'm glad that she's pointing it out without even saying the words that actually need to be said. Y'all are stupid.
It doesn't make any sense because, like I said, how can you expect somebody to want to go against conservative means tradition?
Yes.
So how could you then expect to be with a conservative man, be a Christian man, when the Bible tells you as a woman need to learn in silence? You are supposed to sit in silence. You are not supposed to teach a man. You're not to speak to a man in an authoritative way. But then you get surprised when men who identify with this do exactly what the book says that benefits them.
That's crazy. Megyn Kelly, how you live does not fall within the traditional Christian point of view, and it does not fall within the traditional conservative point of view either.
Yeah, everything that
it just doesn't make any sense.
Your existence is antithetical to that idea.
Yes.
Like you're the direct opposite. The moment that you say I'm going to be for me, you are then not following the path that you say that you follow, being a religious woman. Because I wanted to, it's like there's so many different angles to take it, but the sheer existence of the conversation is foolish. Yes. Because you are trying to push out of something. You want to be one of the boys, but you want to be one of the boys the way that one of the girls are one of the boys. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Like, you either follow your role in the conservative ideal or understand that your sheer desire fundamentally makes you liberal, fundamentally makes you not a conservative. And you just have to accept that.
I understand wanting to be one of the boys thing. I went through that, but you gotta eventually grow up and let the dumb bitch tomfoolery out of your brain. Like, it's never a room you want to be in. It's a room of all men.
They're not going to play the game that you want to play. And the simple fact is they don't benefit playing the game at your speed.
No.
Like, why would they change the rules to now allow you to thrive more? Because I think one thing you have to assume that all of these quote unquote conservative men have the ability to house these women in a capacity that they would be at least somewhat comfortable with. Mm-hmm. So once you add that into an effect, what does he benefit from having you out the house? What does he benefit from you meeting people and talking people around if he's going to be this conservative ideal individual?
Yeah, and I hate having this basic ass conversation, but this is a conversation that it gets brought up all the time. Men with a lot of money don't necessarily, not all of them value women with a lot of money the same. Like, they don't fucking want that. They want you to be able to just be their comfort. And like, be there for them, but they don't want that from you.
Yeah, like,
period.
It just that's what I guess another point where it comes to, because it's interesting to see like what I know we say conservative, but we're essentially meaning white, and what
I'm saying conservative specifically, but yeah,
I mean, but it's a dog whistle when we talk about the greater scope of our country for white and black.
Yeah,
what they're saying. So I just think it's interesting that we had this conversation of white women saying they want to work and have their partners accept it. And then like you hear like on the opposite end where it's like, no, we want our partners to cover everything that we're doing, but then just we gonna work because if we want to.
Well, what black women are saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would prefer to not work, but if I have to, I will.
And they just like, oh, I want to work. I have to mean something.
But that's because black women have been working. We never have. I've said this again. We never had the choice to not work. While white women were in the house not working, we was in said houses working, like from like slavery times. So okay, for us to want to take a break now, and I'm completely fine with black women changing their state of minds a little bit, because most black women are still working, but there are a lot of us who just are sitting back and being like, we don't want to do this shit anymore. I'm one of those black women. Continue what you were saying.
No, I'm just saying white women it's not that white women have never historically really worked in this country unless they was a poor white woman.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like white women in themselves, they don't want to work. They just want to play man. Like I saw this really interesting video that talked about white supremacy, like in a nutshell. And it was saying white supremacy and capitalism ultimate goal is to erase whiteness from labor. Like whiteness and labor shouldn't be two things that are synonymous, essentially. And like that's where historically we have been, where elite white has made it farther and farther away from the labor production, even though they get all the means from it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's entail a lot of what white feminism is allowing white women to be the white man to everybody else and even to the white man. Okay. I think that's why we get that. Because y'all, I guess I don't know how to display the experience that you would say you're feeling, but it wouldn't be something like, oh, you just watching someone who's in power continue to run power on everybody. It's just like you would be seeing someone who was doing something similar oppression wise with regards to black men. Coming up, that was too deep for you?
Yeah, I didn't follow.
Right.
I stopped listening in the middle and then started listening at the end again. I don't know.
That's kind of your thing. We got to stay in though with these women who went to space, man. This
Why?
was insane.
Who was that?
This is Blue.
That wasn't Elon, right? That was the other one, Bezos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why did this nigga send these bitches up to space?
So I have a question. You've never seen this before? Like you didn't know they did this?
Like the whole space exploration. I knew that this was.
Well, let's relax.
It's
space
not really
exploration is insane.
That's what generally they're calling it, but they're just going up to like look at Earth real quick and coming right back down, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew this was happening for like rich people. I guess this was like a marketing ploy to make more people want to do it.
Well, they've been doing this for a while now. Like Jeff Bezos wrote it one time. He wrote it with one of the guys who used to be on Star Trek. Who was the main dude that used to be Star Trek? You know who I'm talking about? You know?
No.
He's a relatively famous white guy, but you don't know white people.
What are you talking about?
But he's done this before where he's
talking about famous Star Trek white man. I have no idea I have no idea. The words that you just said are not computing in my brain.
The audience know who I'm talking about.
They might.
But he's been doing this for a while. That's why I was so surprised the reaction everybody was having to this on the timeline, because they was like, some people act like this was the first time this happened. This is not the first time they've shot people up for a couple minutes up into space. But this time they had, let's see, the notable people was Gayle King, wasn't like Jeff
Katy
Bezos. Let me introduce Katy Perry when I'm ready. But no, they had Gayle King. I think this is Jeff Bezos' girl, and there was a lot of other people. But the one person who stuck out for me, the person who had me emotional when I heard they were going up, was my girl Katy Perry. I was on the way. I was driving, and when I saw this, I had to pull over, and I kind of like held my chest a little bit, because I'm like, I don't want to be in a few hours here. Katy Perry died on a Blue Origin crash. Like that would have destroyed my whole day, my whole week, maybe the rest of the year, honestly.
This sorry motherfucker texted me and was like, "Oh, let me just pull it up."
I said I cried.
He said that he cried a little bit because he said I almost cried. I said why? He said because I thought Katy Perry died. I texted back, I don't respect you.
I thought Katy Perry was. I
don't respect you.
That's cool. That's my favorite pop star ever. The queen of pop for me. So
because Lady Gaga was right there.
Lady Gaga was laughing at him though. Did you see the responses?
No, I mean, like as far as like queen of pop, in that same era, you had much better other choices. That's why I continue to champion that you are a basic bitch on this show. Like you're a basic bitch. You chose the basic bitch option of the two pop stars.
Katy Perry kissed a girl and she liked it, so she slapped to her.
Basic bitch.
That's all it was needed for me. You want to be a bitch that fucking wearing meat on it and at the fucking award show. Sorry, I'm not cool with that. I don't want to smell like fucking Turkish delight.
You thought that was real meat.
I know it wasn't real, but I'm just making jokes. You let me eat?
No.
Yeah, because you don't want
because you
don't want to let a real one eat. And I think this was dope too because like your old ex, what's his name, Russell Brand, he's going through his issues. I'm glad to see that nigga lose every day.
That's how I know she's a fucking loser in the first place. Why would you date Russell Brand ever?
He had an era where I could see where
he's always come off as he smells bad.
Yeah, but that white women like that.
But also Katy Perry also comes off as she smells bad.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she. Oh my god.
No, she doesn't. She does not.
When the first single she was like, I kissed the girl and I liked it. That to me. She seemed like one of those white girls.
Have you ever sung in space?
Just drunk as fuck in the parties and they smelled bad and they was just out of their minds just doing shit for real. Like
Katy Perry
seems like she went in the beginning smelled bad and I felt like it made sense for her to be with Russell Brand because that whole house just smelled like my ass.
Katy Perry sung in space. Have you ever sung in space? No. So let's not even do that. I did feel like a lot of people show how stupid they were though. Because even like Azalea Banks was like, I thought they was going to be in space for a while. Why? What made you think they were going to take 6 people who are not astronauts, have no scientific training? What the fuck we put them in space for?
There's like
They're not even in space really.
There's like mental endurance tests that you have to go through to like become an astronaut. Fucking Gayle King and Katy Perry are not passing that fucking test. Gayle on the walk into the motherfucker, she was just like, oh my God, why am I doing this? She looked like all of the regret was right. You could read it on her face. It was hilarious.
Have you ever seen like a black person doing some white people shit?
Yes.
That's exactly what she looked like. She had that look on her face like, why am I doing this white people
this
shit?
Caucasian nonsense.
The other black girl looked like she was always down for doing the white nonsense. Like she just knew to put a smile on and press her hair.
Yeah, Katie also looked like she was mad hyped to do that white nonsense.
Well, she's peak white nonsense.
Yeah.
So I mean, of course.
I'm glad you know.
So, but I salute it and I love it. But then they end up coming back down. Everything was safe. I think that was cool. To me, people were just so dumb. People were like, how are they breathing in there? Like they wouldn't put air in the chamber. Like they can't pressurize the chamber.
We've seen astronauts talk to us.
They don't believe that. They don't believe it's real.
Over and over and over again from space, like doing interviews and stuff, and they haven't had their helmets on. Do you think that astronauts, when they're staying in space, especially them niggas that was up there for 17 months, you think they had helmets on the entire time? Use your brain.
It's hard for niggas to do that though.
That shit don't make no sense.
It's hard for a lot of niggas to do that. And this is what I want to say, and we can finish off here because this conversation sparked a lot of the flat earthers because they saw the round earth and all that stuff. And I say this humbly. Y'all are the stupidest motherfuckers in the world because I need to explain. This is how y'all think. And I need to let y'all listen. This is going to be an excerpt from the Joe Budden podcast where they are talking to Mark Lamont Hill about flat earth.
Who was talking to him about
Ish
that?
and Ice. And I want to explain to people why this is stupid and why this is dumb before we wrap up. But y'all need to take a listen.
Ish and Ice were mistakes.
Antarctica stops the Let me ask you a question. Do you believe Antarctica stops the bottom? That's it. It's nothing after Antarctica. It's nothing after the North Pole. You believe that?
What do you mean nothing?
I don't
They
understand
said
the
the
question.
Antarctica
I
has a
keep
wall
up,
that stops
down.
you.
Does this stop and does this stop at the bottom?
What the
They
fuck do
proving
you
that the
mean?
shit
Does it
below
stop?
Antarctica.
Huh?
You lost me. We good.
I just said I don't understand. I'm not
Oh my
disagreeing.
God, I
I
don't
literally
respect
don't understand what
either
you're
of
saying.
them.
Okay,
Ice are so stupid.
Let me
Both of them.
explain. Let me explain what he's trying to say. Have you ever looked at a globe? Right. Mm-hmm. So in a globe, what he is trying to say, what is past Antarctica? Because he's saying top and bottom. So what he is trying to imply is the top of a globe is North America, the North Pole, and the bottom is Antarctica. What he doesn't understand, and what a lot of you people who make this stupid argument don't understand, is the globe is not our planet is not the globe model you're looking at in front of you. Down is the ground. Every time. Every time. Down is the ground. So when you say what's up and down on the globe, it's the ground, my nigga. Everywhere else. That's always the answer. Up is the sky. And so you don't point at the top of a fucking globe and say that's the top, because it's not. It's not. You're touching the ground.
If I go like this,
that's up.
That's the sky. Up there is the sky. If I go like that,
That
that's
down.
not Antarctica. That's the floor.
That's the ground.
Dirt, earth.
So you niggas have to understand when people get confused at the questions you're asking, it's because it's stupid questions that don't make any sense. Mm-hmm. That was stupid.
And what were you saying earlier?
About what?
About Mark.
About Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, Mark, you are a half measure.
He was saying you need to call these niggas stupid more
That
often.
that is what Professor Dave was telling you. You have to call stupid ideas stupid so people know they said something dumb.
Not because you are obviously smarter than the rest of these men, which you are, and not because they are wrong, because they're wrong. And if you continue to let wrong people think that they're smart, our society will crumble. Very simply put, you need to let stupid people know that their ideas are nonsensical and they are not based in fact. And then they need to be shamed for that. And bring back shame. I think, Mark, you should have a bell on the show that you ring when niggas are being idiots. Idiot bell. Idiot bell.
Ding, ding, ding. And just make it say dunce, dunce, dunce.
Yes. Like, and I think Joe would definitely let him get a dunce cap off.
He would love that. He would love that.
Flip would have the dunce cap on every single episode because that nigga is so fucking stupid.
We appreciate your apology, but we still gonna give you the shit.
That nigga is so fucking stupid. Like, your brain doesn't work properly. You don't process things the way an adult human that knows things should process things. And then Mark, I love that Mark is on the show now. He's so subtly shady. He undermines Flip's intelligence.
Yeah, he did call him short bus strong.
Yeah, on a regular basis. Like,
no, what I want to just say one more point to that is what the thing that Mark does that gets on my nerves is when he's having a discussion with someone, he allows them to frame the argument under their terms, and their terms are generally not the consensus correct ideal. So you'll just say something that's super vague, but then you won't let them stand on it. You won't let them define their definition. So you get to have this conversation about nothing because you're just using words that don't really mean a reflection in reality. Like, just as we'll finish up here, just an example. He was talking to Jameson, Will Kelly, one time in a space, and they were talking about what he was saying to, I think it was Patrice O'Neal, about shitting on his stand-up because it was shitting on black women. And instead of saying, oh, you kind of manipulate the market by telling people not to go see it, he's like, you should have been like, no, the market is talking to people about the product. So if I'm promoting it or I'm dissing it, that's the free market at any point. Mm-hmm. So you can't say to me, I can't shit on it, but I have to promote it because now you're trying to dictate the market. But he allowed Jameson to not properly define what the market was. And then he felt like he got the best of him in the conversation when it was an easy win if you just don't allow someone to improperly frame the argument.
Niggas who aren't as intelligent as you should never get the best of you
But
in any
he
conversation.
But he doesn't understand is the
Ever.
mere notion that someone's having the conversation with you makes them feel like what they're saying has some type of validity. That's why it's always thing you don't argue with a fool, because you are giving the fool validation when you are having the back and forth with him. And that's, I think he has to understand, if you're going to discuss things with them, you have to now define the terms, and then that's when people start getting headaches and they start getting mad and all that other shit. But you want to finish with this white rapper?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
so there was a white rapper Mount Rushmore, along with a other bunch of Mount Rushmores that were happening.
Yeah.
And I think it was, for the most part, fairly accurate. They had Eminem, Paul Wall, Mac Miller. I think it's fair to have Mac Miller in there, even though because it was an untimely demise, but he represented a brand of white hip hop that I felt like should have been seen in that Mount Rushmore. Now they had Russ on there, and I believe that is where a lot of the fuss came from, because Machine Gun Kelly said he didn't like that. He felt like he should be on the Mount Rushmore, and then it went, everybody started having a conversation.
Mount Rushmore is our America's founding fathers, right?
Roughly,
kind of.
Because technically his only real founding father was, I think, Adams and Washington. The other two is Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln.
What categories would you put Abraham and Roosevelt under?
I would
like, if they're not founding fathers, they were part of
course, with him
building
being the
the foundation.
War. Of course, he was the Civil War. So Abraham Lincoln was Civil War. So I would believe he was the person who was fundamentally changed the fabric of the country in which we understood it to be.
Okay.
And I would say Roosevelt represented an idealized version of our president that people like to romanticize.
So if we're going off of that definition of Mount Rushmore, like founding fathers, redefining, and then idealized version. Pull up who's on the Mount Rushmore. Eminem,
Paul Wall.
I feel like they would kind of be like founding fathers.
I would feel like
Mac would be the person who
idealized.
I would say redefined.
See, I was going to say, this is what I was going to say this, okay?
I agree with you.
I was going to say the fourth person should have been Vanilla Ice, because Vanilla Ice would have been like a founding father, because he was one of the first like mainstream black hip hop artists. Mm-hmm. Then you have...
White, you mean?
Yeah, white. That's what I said, white.
You said black fully.
I said black. Oh, my bad. White hip hop artist. He was one of the bigger ones initially. Then you go to Eminem, because Eminem kind of redefined and changed everything. Mm-hmm. And then to me, I feel like idealized versions of those two from Eminem would be a Mac Miller or a Paul Wall. Someone who's like super artsy into the music like Mac Miller and really like feels the music that he puts out. Or you have someone who's really into the culture like Paul Wall, who has ingratiated himself as like almost like the cookout pass. That's how I thought about it. That's why I added Vanilla Ice instead of Russ.
I wouldn't put Russ in the conversation at all. I would say that maybe I would put Mac in that like redefinition category, because he was like very much like I'm a white boy who grew up loving hip hop, and that's what a white rapper should be. Mm-hmm. And it should be nothing else. Just a white boy who grew up loving this and he fell into it. And then I think maybe Jack Harlow would be this era's ideal white rapper, because that's also what he is. He's a white boy who grew up loving hip hop. He came into the game with fucking Sci-Hi being his mentor. With that nigga rap. Like he's not just like your la-di-da rapper. Like he's a very serious lyricist. So I would, even though Russ has been in the game for longer, I just feel like Jack has had he's had a more solid like mainstream run, even though I know Russ has a cult following.
I'm not mad at it. So I got a few more things that we can go to and then we can wrap up, all right? Mm-hmm. So I want to know, is it weird that I have a favorite white supremacist?
Yes, extremely.
For some reason, like a lot of these guys, like Charlie Kirk and Matt Walsh and Matt Wallace, like they're clowns. They're seriously stupid. Parrot, put a battery, put a script in front of me, and I'm a parrot. Whatever you tell me, with Trump's penis in my butthole.
Yeah.
So like that's like that to me. I can't respect that. But this man right here,
you got to put some sauce on it.
Like he keep it a bean. So if you're not familiar with Nick Fuentes, we talked about
a bean.
He keep it a bean with his hate.
Okay.
He keeps his hate a bean.
He has creative hate.
He keeps his creative hate a bean. That's all I'm gonna say. He says exactly what he feels, and he doesn't try to sugarcoat it. Granted, he does do a little bit of the walking that I hate. I'm like, yo, just it's like sit in your white supremacy. But he's not really a white supremacist. He's more so like a white nationalist who feels like you as a black man could beat me. I'm not gonna let you beat me, but you could beat me. And I respect where it's like there's some truth and honesty to it. But this is him talking about
you are in conservative media as a
Jason
black guy that can confer upon white people the dignity of not being called a racist for having their views. That's why you get paid. And that's why I don't, because I didn't have the privilege of being born black. I was born white. So there's a limit on what I can say. There's a limit on what I can say without being penalized in the so-called free marketplace of ideas. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows. And everybody's sick of it, especially in the conservative space, that blacks have had it easy. It is, and I don't doubt that he's a sincere person. I'm sure he's a sincere person. I'm sure he's genuine. But you are playing by a different set of rules, pal. You have training wheels on. You think you've earned it? Everything you have. Take a look around at your studio, your contract, your employees. If you said the stuff that you said as a white person, your ass would be fucking gone. And everybody knows that. You're on Blaze hosting E. Michael Jones talking about the Jews. It's a good fucking thing you're black, because if you weren't, you would have been fired like Elijah Schaffer. You would have been fired like every other white person. Everybody knows that. Take a good look at everything around you, because you did not compete to get that. You got it because people feel sorry. People don't want to be called racist. They feel sorry. They need a black person to give them credibility. And if you can't see that, then you're just as ignorant as BLM. If you can't see that, if you can't be honest with yourself about that, you're just as ignorant as the marchers. As a matter of fact, you are.
Nick Fuentes, man. You are the biggest pussy clown on the internet. But I respect it, yo. I respect it. Like, honestly, I want to get our show into a position where you can become my rival. That's what I want. I want to be able to destroy Nick Fuentes on a whim. I want to be able to call Nick Fuentes and shit on him. Like, I want us to be able to call him up on time. Hey, man, hey, you little cracker, what's going on? Hey, here's this little fucking yellow bean. Like, I want this to really start. I want us to have discourse like that. I want to be able to call Nick and me and him just say racial epithets to each other for 30 minutes. I would love that. That would mean the world to me.
That is so like you to have like an ideal op.
He is. I feel like he's not smart enough, so I feel like he can get me with intelligence, but he does believe wholeheartedly the stupid shit he says, and that would entertain me enough to continue to call him an idiot through the entire process.
Who else would be on your list of ideal ops?
Honestly, a lot of them are cowards. Like, I sit there and I'm just like, you're all clown. Like, even at least Tim Pool actually showed a little bit of muscle, or not muscle. He showed a little bit of courage about himself to actually stand up, because he actually supported Karmelo Anthony. He was actually one of the few white conservatives who were supporting Karmelo Anthony. But you can tell the reason why Tim Pool was supporting Karmelo Anthony because he was the type of white boy that got bullied and he would pull a knife out on niggas. So I understand that feeling, big dog. Like, that's the only reason he was supporting that. But the rest of these crackers, they're just clowns. They pirate misinformation. It pisses me off what's going on with that man in El Salvador. How y'all keep calling him a gang member. Y'all are trash freaking liars. But I don't want to make it too political.
When it's the complete opposite of that.
It's just disgusting.
It's sad. It's so sad. And I'm surprised he's still alive.
And I also want to say, JD Vance, I completely understand why your mom chose the drugs over you. You can't even pick up a trophy without dropping it. Like, come on.
You're an idiot.
You're like the most disappointing blessing ever. like that's exactly what you are. The most disappointing blessing to ever happen to your mother. But I want to finish up with this because I thought this was really interesting about disclosing sexual health and what that means and what that should look like under like the new world we live in, where you can take medicine now and not even to be able to be detected on a test or anything. Mm-hmm. And like, what does that really mean and what that should, because even though we have a lot of this technology that is in medicine that's helping people, we still have the stigmas. And it feels like now the stigmas are trying to be even stronger than they were in the past. The stigmas?
Yeah.
Yes. People are still getting criticism. Just in the space that we talked about at the beginning of this episode, someone got accused of having a bumpy dick. Like,
who saw his dick?
They were just saying because discussions had happened. There were things in the media that were people had claimed things about somebody having a.
Was it Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, you could have just said that. Like,
well, I mean, it was.
It makes no sense for anybody else to like have known whose dick looks like what, but yeah, I thought it made sense when I said
the first thing.
No,
I salute. Didn't. All right, so
I did hear that.
I'm HIV positive, right? And this is just a PSA to those that are not HIV positive. Disclosure is my choice. When I disclose and how I disclose and who I disclose to is up to me. I find it so crazy how people are telling me that I need to disclose before I go on a date, that I need to disclose before I kiss somebody. This is the craziest one. Before I even tell them my name. It's not happening. I don't think that it's my responsibility to tell someone that I'm HIV positive if they are treating me as if I'm not. Your health is your responsibility. Adopt the mindset of medical practitioners. Assume that everyone has something until they prove to you that they do not. Why are you kissing a stranger or trying to kiss a stranger that you just met? Why are you trying to have intercourse with someone raw that you just met? You don't know me from a hole in a wall. Why are you trying to put your thing inside of me without any kind of protection? Why do I have to be the one to say, hey, chill out, I'm HIV positive, instead of you asking, taking the time to know me, get to know me, let's go get tested together if you want to take the next step. Why do I have to be the one protecting you from yourself? Mm-hmm. No, baby, that is not my responsibility. And I
100% agree with her.
Yeah, I agree with her too.
Like, I believe disclosure is, especially at this time, even before then, even before the medicine and stuff like that, is an intimate thing because, like I said, people use it as a quick and easy tool for shame.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're using it when we talk about people who are having certain conditions. We're just discussing it solely under the ideal of sexual health. That's not, we're not. When you use words like disgusting and gross and you talk down on people, you are no longer discussing personal health. You are shaming them for a condition. And when we say bring shame back, we're saying shaming for actions that you were in control of or things of that nature, not shaming because you have a virus that's in your body.
Never for that. Because I think what she was saying, you don't need to disclose before a first date. You don't need to disclose before you kiss somebody because a first date and a kiss would not expose your partner to what she was talking about. If you're HIV positive, that's not exposing the person to HIV. It is your responsibility to keep your own health at the top of your mind.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, even when you go to because I'll even be open. I had a situation where it wasn't HIV, but someone I was with didn't tell me that they had something, and they didn't disclose that to me. Even when I asked, they had lied to me. But even then, like, I understood why they lied to me because I understood what people would say when they thought of that particular thing. Like, people would shame you. People want to look down on you. They want to create stories. They want to act like you're this plague. And who are you to assess that of somebody off of something that you don't know nothing about the story? Like, there's a difference between judging a girl or judging a guy who's going out here having raw sex and not, maintaining their their sexual health and that being a priority to them. That's one thing. But just because somebody has that, you can't assume that.
Yeah. I do think, though, like, there are certain situations in which you should disclose, even if it's not asked. Like, if you're about to have sex and you know you're positive, for anything. Like,
I think if somebody asks you, then you should be honest, but it's not your responsibility.
If they don't ask, then I think is it not like a criminal offense if you don't?
No, because
if you have sex with somebody knowing that you have a disease that they can catch, and then you do that to multiple people, you can get arrested.
So the crime in and of itself is actually being reckless while you're doing that.
Yes.
So if you are taking your medicine and encouraging the person to use safe sex, or if you are the male using protection, then you are not being reckless with it.
Yeah.
But if you are a girl and you have it and you ask the gentleman to use it, he declines or says, I want to go unprotected, and you allow him, that's on him. He made that choice.
It's not a legal choice, but it is a morally corrupt choice.
No, to me, I don't like painting it as a moral thing, because then you allow the stigma to rule the conversation when it should be a personal health choice. No.
I think if you like, if I have like, I don't have anything, but if I am like positive, if I have herpes or something, and then a guy's like, no, I don't want to use a condom.
You don't have to say that you have herpes. If you told him you requested and he said he didn't want to, that means he is foregoing any risk that could potentially happen when y'all engage in this sexual intercourse, and that's going to be his responsibility.
I think that's morally shaky. I genuinely do.
I don't think it's morally shaky. I don't think so. Where is the deception at?
And you just not telling the person
that's not deception though,
because the person is not using protection assuming that they're fine. You should never assume that you're fine. Yes, we've already laid that foundation. You should never assume that you're fine. Mm-hmm. But if there is one party that knows that you're not gonna be fine, is it not up to you to be like, hey, like,
no, that's not their body.
I don't know. I feel like it is.
And also,
I would feel the responsibility, like, even if I had something that was okay to have sex with protection, and the man was like, but I don't want to use protection, I would insist.
You can insist, or you can decline. That you have that right to choose. What I'm saying is, if you consent to the sex and that person does not care about their own sexual health, that's not a priority to them. That is not now your job or your responsibility because to disclose that. Because like I said, a lot of these medicines make it so that you can't transmit either.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case and you are on some type of medicine that does not allow you to transmit, then I don't think you need to disclose.
But I'm saying, regardless, you're still considered HIV positive. You're always going to be considered HIV positive.
Yes. But if you know for a fact that you're not putting this person in harm's risk, in harm's way, then I think that's a completely different situation.
But that's where we're at largely
morally.
With medicine. No, I'm talking with medicine.
Moral.
I'm saying, but if you're taking that into consideration, where we're at right now, modern day with medicine, you can almost, that stuff has come to where it's not detectable. It's not detectable and it's not transmittable for a lot of times. A lot of that's what the point of the medicine is to do. So if you are adding that into your consideration, again, it is not anyone's importance to divulge that. If you care about your sexual health, you conduct yourself with your sexual health. If you say, hey, I want to see your documentation before we engage in sexual health, then do that. But you have the right to do that. It's your job as a person to require what is for you for your boundaries. Yeah. It is no one else's job to assess boundaries for you, to be a protection measure for you. It is your job. And if you don't want to be accountable or responsible for that, you will suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
Even in my situation where the girl lied to me, I still risked it by performing the way I did. And I was just fortunate that I came out with nothing. But it was my error because I should have been prioritizing me. So that's just where I'm not going to sit there and blame that person, because again, I know how horrible people are to each other about those things. So it's like, why would you want to tell someone I got the scarlet letter on me if I don't have to? But I think we did it, man. I think we got to it.
Yeah, we definitely did.
We did our thing, man. Proud of us. We did our biggest of ones.
I feel like we definitely just gonna have to agree to disagree on that last topic.
I mean, to me, what would be your argument that somebody, and if you don't want to say it, we don't have to, but what would be your argument to say you're entitled to divulge something about your body that was going to come with criticism that wouldn't have happened if that person didn't know this information? Why are they entitled to that?
If it directly puts me in harm's way.
But we've
not
already
knowing whatever information that you said that you think that I need to know.
But if you don't require that before engaging in the sex, then why is that my problem?
It's irresponsible, but I think it's irresponsible on more than one side.
Salute. All right. Life is a labor of love, so let's keep building these moments together. And remember, your job is not your family. And the only thing you should be exploiting is these corporations. Tell them what they need to do.
Follow us on all of the social media at talk.fnf.tv on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. If you're currently listening on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe. And if you're listening on any of the streaming services, download, please. We love and appreciate you. Bye.
All right, we out of here.